Let's focus on Bajaj Auto. Reported its November auto sales numbers just a while back. Very strong sales in November, good growth in the domestic market. Exports are under pressure year on year, but month on month, actually, exports have also improved. There's about a 2.8% jump month on month. So let's get talking to Rakesh Sharma, the Executive Director at Bajaj Auto. Rakesh, thanks a lot for joining in on the show. Just tell us a little bit about what you expect in the next couple of months. Do you think this strong trend in the domestic sales is something that can continue?
Good morning, Sonia. Yes, it was a very good festive. And as you know, we like to look at the numbers from a retail point of view, which we source from Vahan. And best to look at the numbers over September, October, November period, because it covers the full spectrum of festive, takes into account month ends, and it's easier to compare with last year, which had a different festive date. So when we look at that, the industry has grown at about 8%, and we have grown at twice that rate. The good thing is that all segments within the industry have shown growth. And in the top half, which is the 125cc plus segment, where the industry has grown by 9%, we've grown at approximately 3 times that rate. And the other point is that, immediately after the festive, we usually see a sharp drop. But in the last 10, 15 days, we have not noticed that kind of drop, at least in our retail. So this augurs well. And therefore, we think that going forward, certainly, the industry can count on something like 8 to 9% growth. And we will certainly be looking at growing at twice that rate, if not more.
Okay, so you're saying that this festive season, the two-wheeler industry grew at 8%. Bajaj has grown at twice that rate, so in excess of about 16%. What is the market share now in the domestic market for Bajaj, and how does it compare to, say, in the last quarter?
Yeah, so you know that almost 2/3 of our sales are now coming from the strategic focus which we have on the 125cc plus segment. And there we have grown about 5 percentage points of market share compared to the same period last year. At an overall level, also there would be an increase about more than 1% or so. But really in the key segment, which is 2/3 of our business, it's a 5% gain.
Okay. Mr. Sharma, hi, good morning. So the volume picture is looking very, very smart, as you're pointing out, and demand hasn't fallen off post-festive, as it usually does. That's good news too. Do give us some sense on what's happening with price trends. I mean, were there a lot of freebies or any sort of discounting during the season to bump up sales? How high is the competitive intensity in the market, if at all? And what's your outlook on pricing come the new year?
Well, there was the usual tactical stuff, but I must say that it was not widespread. It was, I think, those companies which are focused on the entry-level segments. There was a lot of hectic activity, which is, as you know, already a red ocean, so that became redder. Apart from that, there were some sporadic things. I think the industry drove the business more on the basis of new product launches and new propositions to engage with different segments of the customer. We certainly our approach during the festive, not just in this year, but since the last few years, we focused more on engaging with the customers beyond this the tactical promotion.
Okay, and what's the outlook? So I mean, you didn't engage in any sort of these freebie sort of carrots, but what's the outlook on pricing now as we get into 24?
Well, right now the pricing is steady. Doesn't seem to have any particular reason for looking at pricing, because the material costs, etc., are holding quite steady. The exchange rate, of course, is benefiting us marginally. However, we will continue to look at opportunities. We will continue to look at competition, and something disturbs the equilibrium, then we will definitely re-examine pricing.
Mr. Sharma, good morning. Prashant here. On exports, what's the situation, sir? There's a slight improvement month on month. But I remember when we spoke last on the 1st of November, I mean, the biggest market for you is Nigeria, had just seen a devaluation. What's happening there now?
Yeah, so Prashant, the currency continues to be in trouble in Nigeria, and I would say that while there is an improvement month on month in exports, Nigeria and to some extent Bangladesh amongst the big markets are still a drag rest on our business. But overall, like I've been saying, there is a step-by-step improvement. We have to just wait and watch Nigeria because they're going through this very volatile period of settling down on some kind of an exchange rate. And we see a month-on-month 5% devaluation, at least on the street, at a street level, whatever the official exchange rate is. So it is still not reached, I think, steady state sort of performance in Nigeria.
So just to follow up here, Mr. Sharma, in the export retail sales, you think you'll be able to do steady state 1.5 lakh units per month, or do you think up until Nigeria recovers completely, you may find it hard to get to that level?
No, most of the other markets are recovering. Apart from there is a little bit of a softness in Bangladesh, but exactly, we are citing, like I said, every quarter an improvement. We are definitely looking at 150, aiming at about 150,000 kind of exports performance. And if Nigeria recovers, if the exchange rate sort of settles down and it starts to recover, and I must say that situation is so difficult in Nigeria, but it is remarkable how resilient the customer and the people have been over there. That they've soldiered on and going about their business as usual. So that has to be factored in, and once that starts to happen, of course, we will cross the 150K.
Okay. A couple of days ago, we were having this conversation with Rajiv Bajaj, and he spoke about how this 125cc segment, which he calls the sports motorcycle segment, has been growing at a very rapid pace, right? And you folks have a big presence there. 50% growth is what he spoke about. Can you just tell us about what the numbers there have been this month? And on an average, on a monthly run rate, what are you looking at in that segment, 125cc plus?
Well, I can tell you, that in this festive, this is our best ever performance for Pulsars. We clocked almost 500,000 Pulsars, which is our brand, main brand for the 125cc plus segment. So that this 125cc plus segment now accounts for 50% of the industry, and like I said, 65% of our business. And this is a very good indicator of the trends of uptrading in the Indian customer, the confidence and optimism slowly sort of percolating down to the customer, which sort of helps them to make a choice of a better motorcycle, where you then get more degrees of freedom to differentiate through product performance, features, etc. So it augurs well, and I think these trends will continue. There is a lot of action also in this space, which is very good because more and more products get launched, and that's very exciting for the customer. So when you put all of it together, we are very, very confident that, and we've been sort of betting on this segment quite a bit, developing products for this segment. So this kind of a trend should continue well into next year.
Mr. Sharma, finally, as we're wrapping up, I think if there's one thing that 2023 will be remembered for when it comes to the two-wheeler space, it's going to be the war of the big bad bikes, right? The premium segment. I'm talking now 350 plus, because that's where the headlines were. That's where the new launches and the competitive intensity kept increasing. And I think just a couple of days back now, Eicher is talking about the new Himalayan, the shotgun, and in the super heavy 650cc category. Just tell us, what's happening with Triumph? How is the market taking up a lot of these new options that are available? And if you can share any, early market share details with us, that'll be great too.
Well, the war, as you call it, has just begun. So I think more than 2023, it'll be 2024 where the action will blossom into full scale. And mainly because, we launched only in July, and August is when, you started to see retails. We've taken the approach of being very, very sensitive to customer experience. So we have taken the path of having exclusive showrooms and service centers for the Triumph brand. And we started with about 14 in July. And as we speak, it's about 55. Hopefully, we will be able to close about 80, 90 by the end of the year. And but even within these 55, some of them have come on stream only in the last couple of months. We are getting very, very good indications of the acceptance of our product. We had, retails of almost, I think, about 2,700 units in these 50 centers. And in some places, I would say that the market shares are like coming close to 15 to 20% in this. But it would be too early for me to start waving the flag on the basis of these market shares. We would like to give it another 6 months. But I can tell you that the product acceptance is very good. And as we expand network and as the word goes around, we are very, very confident of progressively increasing market share on a national basis.
Okay, that sounds great. And I'm sure all your stakeholders, customers, investors, everybody is going to be watching this space. So just for clarity, you said 15 to 20% market share. This is in the 300cc above category. But how do you define that category, the super premium?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's in the 250 to 500cc segment. But I must point out to you that this is, because I don't want people to get misled by that number. This is very selectively, I would say, this would be the best performance in a particular city without naming the cities. So we are sort of seeing this as a leading indicator that in some of the cities where we've been there now for 3-4 months, this is the kind of market share which one can reach. And of course, a lot depends on now how we expand the network and how we take customer experience forward and how the message sort of continues to go out to newer and newer customers, persuading them to take on the Triumph brand.
All right, we will let you on that note. And once again, congratulations on a strong set of numbers, on all the work that you folks are doing, especially in some of the new areas like CNG, etc. All the best for that. Thanks for being with us on the channel. That's a good set of numbers coming in from Bajaj Auto this month. By the way,